What was the Gervonta Tank Davis numbers against Isaac Cruz? Less than 100,000, right? The pay-per-view model for boxing is dead. It's gone. It's over. There's never gonna be another Floyd Mayweather in boxing ever again. That model, that pay-per-view model, that pay-per-view king, that and those numbers that Floyd used to do, the millions of pay-per, it's over. It's a wrap. Because before the fight, I can just click on Google and type in, oh, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz, watch for free, and then there's gonna be like 20 different streams that come up. So I'm not advocating that. I mean, I'm actually advocating you guys shouldn't pay for these fights unless the best are fighting the best. Don't pay for it. Don't do it. Don't pay for the pay-per-view. Don't do it. I mean, it's gotten so fucking bad that Floyd had to say on his Instagram, please, please buy this pay-per-view. Like, that shit was hilarious though. Like, please buy the pay-per-view. And he even put it on his Instagram too. Like, I'm gonna show you guys right now. He said on his Instagram, oh, when you put money out of these fighters' pockets and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Like, that shit was a flop. The Gervonta Tank Davis numbers were a flop. That shit was a flop. It flopped. That shit was a flop, dude. These fights are not taking off. Like, most of them are flopping. Like, the Gervonta Tank Davis fight flopped. Even the Terrence Crawford fight in Errol Spence, I would be surprised if that fight even breaks 700,000. I don't even think look, man, these guys don't have the money to pay these fighters. Like, the reason why is because the pay-per-view model is pretty much over with. It's over. There's no back end. There's no the pay-per-view numbers are dead. They're dying. Even Canelo can't sell 1 million pay-per-views. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look the numbers up. Canelo versus Caleb Plant pay-per-view numbers. How much? How much pay-per-view? 800,000. Yeah, but that's Canelo though, right? That's Canelo. 800,000. But, you know, you see what I'm saying? It's because of the Mexican fan base too, though. Like, you know, they support their own. Very much so. Respect. But the pay-per-view model is dead. It's over with. There's never going to be another Floyd Mayweather in boxing ever again. Because everything is on the internet nowadays, and people are realizing that they can just stream the fights. They don't have to pay for these pay-per-views. Floyd was like, please buy the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. Please, pretty please. Floyd never even uses please in a sentence. When's the last time you seen Floyd say please? I still think the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight wouldn't even break 1 million pay-per-view buys. Which is 700,000 would still be pretty solid. Because what's the pay-per-view numbers? What, $70? So that's what, 700,000 times 10, 7 million. But and then multiply that shit by 7. So 49 million, something like that. And then you got to count the live gate too. So possibly that fight could do 700. I doubt it. I'm really skeptical about whether or not that fight would do 700,000, because nobody knows Terrence Crawford like that. Nobody gives a fuck about his fights. Like, the numbers for the Sean Porter fight was 200,000. That flopped too. That's a flop. It's a flop because that shit isn't even enough to pay the fighters. what you promised them. Adrian Broner was not lying when he said that he's getting money trickled down. He's not getting his money straight up. Conor said that shit too to Eddie Alvarez. He was like, "You get your money dripped. We pay you whatever the fuck we want to pay you. You get your money dripped." Adrian Broner gets his money dripped, like little drips. You know how this little bottle? He doesn't get the full bottle. He only gets like little drips of it, like little puddles of it. Like, here you go, Adrian Broner. Here you go. Here you go. Take this little drop. You're gonna get it dripped to you until it finishes. Over months. There you go. Now you're gonna have to wait one more month to get that little drip. Oh my god, that shit is really hilarious, dude. They were paying him like a crackhead. They were giving him $1,500 a week. That's crazy to me. Al Heyman took all the money. He ran and took the money. I mean, it's business, you know. He legally did it. He did it legally too. So, but it's so scummy though. Like, it's so fucking scummy, dude. It's so disgusting and scummy. Like, and you know, the zone model is actually working. I mean, Canelo's fighting on the zone, right? The zone works. That app? No. He didn't make, because it's $20 on the app. So he made 800,000 times 10, and then you multiply by 2. So 8 million. That's 16 million. $16 million for the pay-per-view. And then the live gate did probably like 10, 20 million. The live gate probably did 10, 20 million. And then if you add in the 16, that's 26 million. But isn't he guaranteed like 300 million in 10 fights? That's not even enough to guarantee his purse. So they're losing money on the fights. These promoters are okay with losing money though. Like, I think Terence Crawford should sign with DAZN. Fighting with PBC is just not a sustainable business model. Like, Errol, listen, bro. Listen, Errol. You're fighting. You don't want to fight Terence Crawford. Who are you gonna fight now? You're gonna fight Ugas? That fight's not even gonna do 100,000 pay-per-views. I guarantee you that fight won't even do 100,000 if you fight Ugas. Not gonna do a lot of. That fight's not gonna do big numbers, because if you fight Ugas, that dude is like, Ugas? Really? That dude, I mean, I guess he has his name out there because he fought Pacquiao, but he's not a household name, though. Because the Filipinos are not gonna come out and buy that fight because he's black. And then black people don't really buy the fights. So Ugas doesn't really have the support, because I think if he fights Errol Spence, it will do some numbers. And then if he beats Errol Spence and fights Terence Crawford, then the fight will do even more. But my point is, the best are still not fighting them. So it's not even really a sustainable business model. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. Why are you putting these fights on pay-per-view? Keith Thurman's on pay-per-view. Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin is on pay-per-view. What? Are you serious right now? How does that make any sense? Because there's no money in-house. The PPZ doesn't have any money to pay these guys. So the fans have to pay the purse. Because these guys have a guaranteed purse in their contract or something like that for this many fights. And Al Heyman can't pay them. Because he wants to keep the money for himself. And he's doing it legally. He's a clever bastard. But yeah, that's what he's doing. He wants the fans to fit the bill. And you guys will gladly watch the fight and pay for the fight. It's your money, but why would you pay for a fight that you can watch for free, and that fight's not even pay-per-view worthy? Like, you know how hard you worked for your money? That's hard-earned money. You're just going to buy the fight just to buy the fight? Oh, I got to support it. No, you don't have to support it. If it's a bullshit fight, it's a bullshit fight. Like, we don't have to say things are better than they are just because we want to support the fighter. No, that shit is a bullshit fight. Say it. If it's a bullshit fight, it's a bullshit fight. It doesn't deserve to be on pay-per-view. It should be free. Keith Thurman Barrios should be free. Martin Ortiz should be free. The only fight that's deservedly on pay-per-view is Crawford Spence. How many times do I have to say it? But anyways, guys, the Phantom, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you guys think in the comment section about